Good evening, ma'am. Enjoying your dinner? That is a big girl. Yes. What you eating there, princess? Mm-hmm. Oh, I know. Been after my hollyhock. I see that. What you working on now? Some hosta blooms. Nice little appetizer. Uh-huh. I thought so. Yeah, girlfriend. Run along. Appetizer. Well, you didn't have to bite off the astrantia. I mean, alright, so you decided you didn't like that one. I guess I'll bring that in the house. This one too. Okay. Well, you were out here the whole time. You were some big help. What exactly have you been up to?
Well, it was bound to happen sooner or later. I mean, this is a wildlife garden, so I was expecting to have wildlife. I've had herons, I've had owls, I've even had eagles fly by, raccoons, possum, and rabbits. What is surprising, though, is that after 16 years now, my Chihuahua has decided that he actually likes rabbits. He's just going to let them do their thing. He's not so sure about the neighbors, but he doesn't have much to complain about when it comes to rabbits, apparently. And you know, when you have a wildlife garden, you're never really going to control wildlife. You're inviting them in, and that's part of the magic of having a wildlife garden. Just like when you have a Chihuahua, they're going to bark. It is what it is. So really what it comes down to is mitigation. Okay, you're going to lose some plants, but you can also put some in to control the loss and still maintain some color all year round. To that end, I did put in some new plants. Come along and I'll show you what they are.
To begin with, I knew that the hostas with the tall blooms that have been here a while are no threat to the rabbits because, I don't know, they don't like the wavy leaves, but then I don't want to have to cage the small one next to it. This is Skyline hosta, but it is an option because this guy, frankly, has got better things to do. And he's an indoor dog. He's only outdoors occasionally, frankly, when he wants to sunbathe, but that's okay. Now, I'm looking then at some things that I can plant in the gaps, not just a place where I look out the windows and I'd like to see more color, which is the case here, but this monarda, or bee balm, would also be good to thwart some rabbit damage that is definitely happening. And the same thing with coneflowers. They love coneflowers, but surrounded by marigolds might thwart the scent of the coneflower. And what you see here, the light white dust on there, that is rabbit repellent that's been grabbed by spider web. But yeah, they love the English daisies, and they've eaten those down to nubbins. So I've planted some lavender around it. And in my zone, anyway, in zone 5B, lavender is an annual. It doesn't mean I won't keep trying to grow it. So I've also planted some other things in the distance here, too. And catmint. They will leave catmint alone. So, as an entrance to my newest rose garden, where there isn't a lot of other options here, I decided to put in some catmint. Again, that scent is overwhelming to rabbits entering the area, and even eastern chipmunks leave it alone. And it is a good grower. It likes full sun, and here in my zone 5B garden, it reliably comes back every year. So I thought, okay, I'll put some catmint in this area, and that will hopefully, as a starter, I'll watch and see how it does. This is Persian blue catmint. Don't you love that name? And in my rose garden, I've got an area here that's, frankly kind of dead. And before I consider putting a rose in here, and again, this has some good sun in this area, I thought I would put in an obedient plant. Now, I haven't grown this before, and it is a native in this area. So I thought, well, let's see how it does. I've heard some things about it being rather aggressive, but I don't have a whole lot going on in this area, and it is bordered by stone. So I'll just keep track of it and see how it goes. I always wanted, one of those plants. I love their fall foliage, and the seed heads are so decorative. So I'll just kind of see how it goes. But I know that it is rabbit and apparently deer resistant. I don't have a problem with deer, but rabbits, they've got my number. And that's fine. There's going to be some plants that are taken out in a wildlife garden by rabbits, but I'd like to keep some color. And speaking of color, this front new tree bed is doing really well. But yeah, I am kind of tired of keeping the cage on my English daisies there. So I thought, well, let's plant some more marigold around there. So marigold is pretty easy to grow. It's an annual, but the seeds, it's always producing seed heads. So I thought, well, I'll go ahead and put some more marigold around the English daisies, and maybe that scent at the beginning of the border will stop the rabbits from seeking out the English daisies. That's the thought. They leave the dianthus alone on the left side there, and that variety of hostas closer to the tree, to my new tupelo tree, they leave that alone. So I grabbed some spent seed heads and just bury those in the soil as well, because, like I said, marigold is one of those great plants for reseeding. And in the course of a year, the seeds I'm planting right there alongside them will also develop into plants before the fall comes, which is great. And as an extra precaution, I sprinkled some more Repels All rabbit repellent. So it's supposed to be good for eastern chipmunks as well. I probably don't need it around the dianthus, but I thought, while I'm here, let's just put it in. And the granules, I've noticed, stay a little bit better than the spray. The spray washes off with a good rain, but the repellent tends to stay in place, at least the granules, for a little while. And I've noticed, the rose that grows here in this pot is never bothered by rabbits. Not just because it's in a pot, those are short pots, but I think it's the geraniums that grow in proximity. So the lantana that was attacked by chipmunks, I thought I'd put one of the new geraniums that I've grown from seed, I thought I would just put that in the pot. So between the lantana, that is a nice coral orangey color here, this type of geranium has a nice strong scent, and it will have orange blooms. Now I might need to transfer it to a bigger pot before the summer is over, but I thought I'd grow these geraniums from seed, and they've taken off, which is great. And we'll see how this goes in the course of the summer. Now, I'm going to keep this in a sunny spot that drains well. It's got some good fertile soil here, although that's not necessary for geraniums, but it has some well-draining soil. I'll keep it in the pot. And as a last step, I always water things in. Even if we're in a cycle of rain and things are kind of wet, I water them in to settle the soil. Speaking of things growing well, yes, this pollinator point is looking good, but I did notice, remember my new blueberry bush that I put in there? I've had to cage it because rabbits have pruned that down already. The banana looks good, and the other plants look good. Again, nothing touches the geranium. But the mint that I've planted there is doing well. It likes the rain. And this isn't the usual edible mint. This is the more native kind, so it's not going to spread aggressively. And the stackies, the lamb's ear, I put that in around the coneflower because I could not get this coneflower to stay because rabbits were after it until I put in the lamb's ear. Now, wow, the hollyhock, I love it. It is beautiful, isn't it? And this is a new stand that I put in. But boy, the bottom of it, I can see that they have totally just decimated this stand. Now the red looks good. I've got some cage on the back, on the bottom of it, but they have peeled away so much of this other, you can't even see the pink anymore. So, I try to weave it in through the wisteria. That's why I'm waiting to prune the wisteria. I'm going to wait till the hollyhocks are done blooming because they're being used to prop up the hollyhocks. And then I'll prune the wisteria. Meanwhile, Gabe is a happy observer of it all. He's my companion. He's my bestie. He doesn't have to keep chasing rabbits. That's not his job. He will keep me posted what's going on with the neighbors, I'm sure, or anybody walking by the house. But as for rabbits, apparently in Gabe's world now, they get a free pass. And that's okay.
Well, I hope that you like this video, and maybe you have some ideas of ways to thwart rabbits, or at least control the damage that they do in your garden. I mean, every zone's different, right? I hope you do subscribe so we can see how this whole thing works as the summer progresses. I will keep you posted. We'll see you soon. Bye.